There's an idolatry that we don't often talk about. And I've been thinking about this form of idolatry because a lot of times when we think of idolatry, we're thinking of, like in the Bible, Baal and idol worship, all right? Like we built a golden calf and we are worshiping that calf. Or a lot of times in modern day society, we think of idols as people, right? We are saying, oh, you made this person an idol. You made this family member an idol. You made this pastor an idol. Or you put this person above the lordship of Jesus, right? That's idolatry. You're putting something before the lordship of Jesus. But one thing I don't think we really lean into enough is the idolatry of our own minds, the idolatry of our opinions. Yeah. The Bible talks about how many people will become lovers of themselves, right? In the last and evil days, men will become lovers of themselves, right? If we're not protected, if we're not girded up in our faith in Jesus. And opinions are a part of that, right? Because my Bible tells me to be slow to speak and quick to listen. My Bible also says, bridle my tongue, Lord, right? Help me close my mouth a little bit so that I'm not saying too much or saying too little or saying things out of a bad posture of my heart, right? And so when we're looking into, especially for young people on social media, you're like, how do I even engage with these things that are happening in the body of Christ, or these things that are happening in the world? How do I engage with them? I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling grievous. I'm feeling irritated. I'm also feeling like I want to speak. I want to argue. I want to do all these different things. I'm feeling rage. Don't estimate the power of prayer. I've seen in many cases where people say, oh, they talk about just pray, just pray, just pray. There's no such thing as just pray, especially when you have a relationship with Jesus. God moves the needle so much in the lives of people through the power of prayer. Not just reciting words, but through the power of prayer, meaning that you believe what you're speaking. You believe that God is. And because he is, this is going to come to pass, right? Because God is, this is going to happen. Because you're in faith, you're praying in the will, you're praying in his way, according to his word. Don't estimate the power of prayer. And don't underestimate the power of community. Talk to your family, especially if you have family that love the Lord. Talk to your family. Talk about these different things. Get some wisdom. If you have a church family, you need one if you don't have one. But if you have a church family, talk to your friends, your brothers and sisters in the faith. Talk to them. Have these conversations. Have this discourse. Hey, I'm struggling in this area. I feel rage. I feel like I want to argue because I am a preserver of the church. Or I feel like I want to argue because people have done terrible things toward the body of Christ. Or I want to argue because the government is going through so many different things, and it starts and begins with the body of Christ, right? You have all these different irritations, which are normal because you're human. But how you handle your emotions and your feelings is a telltale sign of how much you trust Jesus. And if you're negligent with your feelings, you're negligent with your emotions, you're negligent with your words, it shows us, it shows the world, and it reveals to yourself that you don't trust God enough because you feel like you have to be the judge of a situation. God is the best judge. Let him judge it. And you stay in a posture of prayer, of faith, of community, knowing that the Lord will fight our battles. We need only to be still.